Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 236 leaks are out, and look, I'm just gonna say it, the leaks does not do this chapter justice. There's a bunch of stuff that really needs to be explained. Nonetheless, this is a very heavy chapter, so let's just get straight into the leaks. Huge shout out to Miyamura as always. The chapter starts with Geto saying yo to Gojo, who's looking stupefied. Gojo says this is awful, and Geto pouts saying he's being rude. Gojo then says he told his students that when you die, you're alone, and he hopes that this is just an imagination. Geto asks who cares, and Gojo replies it matters, about my father, but then he leaves the topic saying he left it to Shoko to handle, so it'll be alright. So yeah, for those who haven't really caught on, Gojo is pretty much in the middle of a death flashback right now. Hence why Geto says Gojo's being rude as soon as Gojo sees him, and the conversation that they're having is obviously referring to the present time. But continuing the chapter, Geto asks how's the King of Curses. Gojo answers that Sukuna was damn strong and he didn't even go all in for it. In fact, Gojo says he's not even sure he could win if Sukuna didn't have Megami's curse technique. Gojo says he gave his everything, his trained body, the techniques he learned, the talent he brushed. He says he wanted them to reach Sukuna and he hopes it will, and says it was fun. In the next page, Gojo says he feels sorry for Sukuna because he didn't give his all. And Geto says that he's a little jealous, but if Gojo's satisfied, then he's good. Gojo then replies saying he would have been satisfied if Geto was there to give him that slap on the back for motivation, just like we see in chapter 222. Nanami then jumps in to give Gojo some banter, with Gojo saying that he's glad what killed him isn't time or disease, but someone stronger than him, with Nanami chiming in saying it's disgusting because Gojo sounds like a samurai general. Haibara then appears saying that it's something that everyone noticed but they didn't really want to say out loud. Nanami says that he won't justify Gojo's last moments, but he feels sympathy for him, and Gojo thanks him for that. Gojo then asks how was it for Nanami, and Nanami answers that he once asked Mei-san about it, and she suggested that he either moves north if you're looking for a new side of yourself, or moves south if you want to stay who you are. Nanami then says he chose south without any doubt, and his last moments weren't so bad thanks to Haibara. Gojo then bids everyone a farewell. Geto, Yaga, Nanami, Haibara, Riko, Kuroi, as it flashes back to reality and we see Gojo's top half looking into the sky. We then see Sukuna explaining Mahoraga's adaptation. Once Maho receives an attack, it'll gradually adapt over time, and the more attacks it takes, the faster it'll adapt. Sukuna says he expected Maho to be a role model which passes through Gojo's infinity. Sukuna then explains, as we know, Mahoraga first adapted to Gojo's infinity, and when Mahoraga used his slash, it wasn't the same as Sukuna's. It expanded the curse technique target to not just Gojo, but to the space in the world itself, and cut it. We then see Gojo cut in half as Sukuna explains that infinity doesn't really matter if the entire world can be cut. As Sukuna says, good job Satoru Gojo, I will never forget about you. And look, I'm just gonna save all my thoughts for the end of the leaks. That's why I haven't really been explaining anything or giving my thoughts, but there's just a couple more pages left, so let's just finish the chapter. As Sukuna says don't let me down, the narrator explains that without any moment of feeling sorrow for Gojo's death, the one that arrives is the thunder god Kashimo Hajime. End of chapter. Okay, now I don't have a problem with this chapter at all, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it kind of feels like I skipped the chapter coming into this, because the last chapter ended with Gojo using RCT and Sukuna just looking really, beat up and bashed. And then chapter 236, this chapter pretty much starts with Gojo already dead. The chapter starts while he's already in the middle of his flashback. So yeah, just the fact of not knowing what happened between, this chapter and the end of last chapter is just, it's just kind of jarring. But like I said, that's why official translations are pretty much the way to go with this chapter, because the leaks don't really give it justice, like I said. And if they really don't, I'm sure Gege will explain like next chapter or something, exactly what happened. But as it stands now, yeah, very heavy chapter. I mean, let's be honest here, we knew someone was gonna die, either Gojo or Sukuna. We just didn't know how. And dude, I'm not gonna hold you right now, like I thought I prepared myself for Gojo dying and stuff, but no, it's still sad, dude. Like, it's still sad. What makes this even sadder is just we don't even know if Gojo had last words for the people who's watching the fight. Yuji, Yuta, Shoko, we don't know what he said to them, which hopefully we do get some explanation or more detail later. But another thing is we see Gojo saying that Sukuna was stronger, and even without Megami's curse technique he probably still would have lost. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, you know, it's pretty much just natural at this point. And they're also going to flood the comments saying Gege's a bad writer, you know, this and that. But I don't think it's that black and white. Like, we know that Sukuna may have like a hidden technique or, you know, something like that. So that's most likely what Gojo's referring to. You know, just the simple fact that he couldn't really make Sukuna play every card he had, which, to be fair, again, doesn't really seem like the case, you know, to us readers. It really seemed like they both were giving it their all. But again, I trust Gege and his style of writing. So instead of just constantly, you know, making up questions for myself and, you know, trying to come up with theories, it's probably best to, you know, at least wait till like official translations or, you know, something similar comes. Like, let's be real here. We know that Gege knows how to write a story. So, you know, these kind of things where, you know, things happen and we don't really get an explanation until later, you know, it happens. So let's not let, you know, something big like Gojo dying distract us from, you know, Akutami's vision of the story. But yeah, I will go over this chapter in a lot more detail in a later video. There is no break next week, so yeah, we got at least some good news this week. It is very late as I'm recording this, so I will catch you guys in another video. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a very good day or night, depending on where you are. Peace.